A mild approach, I hope. Gentle discussion of the choices available, the forks in the road, and the ones to avoid if at all possible, the potholes. Because before us looms a probable 40 odd years in quiet servitude. And if there is a choice, I don't want it drastic. Just let me take the yoke and strain no knicker elastic. I don't expect a loved work and all that gubbins. Circumstances much reduced suit. My trusty Tupperware filled every shift with pickled onion, celery, and a Keys Lorraine 8. That'll do me. That's enough excitement for one day. The rest I can knock up when I get home. Because what they don't realise is dollar and dumb. Every day alike is what I'm aiming for on the surface. Excitement that way won't be worn out in the day, so there is less to go round when I come home, shut the door, and hang from the eaves and swing from the vintage chandeliers. Who wants adrenaline pumping in the lactic building, and the heart a race in professional and office-based ambiances? I don't. I want the ceiling raked by fingertips and tendons stretched at my personal address, in the full knowledge HR won't pull me and ask was it really appropriate to be screaming. In the office, they'd call ambulances. I'll be the robot with a pointless task in daylight hours. I'll be the plaintiff if a salt course chips a fingernail on the way down. For a bit of sick well justified, should they make me go? No, I'd rather stay in when there's drama and team camaraderie necessarily forged. And I don't want to bond and the sellotape. Our flower mows licking envelopes, listening to the ticking of the clock in the sorting room, post monotonous task at conveyor belt, when I've managed to extract through minimal help of my arms and legs a benefit on average of kilowatts to burn when I'm alone. I can then hug them close and carry them on the bus, and explode once I've fed the cat and shed my clothes, and put on glory again. The pension plan has stipulated annual leave and benefits, annuities, associated perks. Art of cheese. Sweet fairy Ann's okay, and the gobstopper, if it keeps the wolf from the door, means I'm not technically homeless. I don't need society of toolmakers and metallurgists urge me, as worker at lathe and machinery, to learn the history of the craft and take a night class and a knee to the ones we lost in industrial accidents when health and safety was in its infancy. I don't crave to know I follow a venerated line of blacksmiths who used this shed where we store the bins in the 18th century to connect me to generations past. I'll absorb that like a sponge, I suppose. Don't get me wrong, but passively. You see, when you sit in a room with havoc all around, and cotton wool, and faux moths, and a cow to keep the hair from contaminating the products, you don't hear the actual words, but you get a sense. You feel it in the atmosphere, yes. You nod at mouths. All afternoon there is a wump, bellows pump. You drink from the air as a mushroom goodness as it goes down the chute, and in the pores, and in the process becomes part of you on the factory floor. You don't need to be taking exams to be fully part of a workplace culture, for heaven's sake. Let's get that straight. It's done without mental exertion. So don't make out that fake enthusiasm. Your name in blood, leaving nothing more than sweat every day on the floor of the place. Was barely adequate. What's more than enough is turning up to institute economical rate of production to cupcakes, packaging up eclairs without a shrug of the shoulders, or kicking over the chairs. I say footballers who make it look easy are the true geniuses, and I agree wholeheartedly with this conviction. There is no credit to too much. I won't do performative or sweating my bollocks off. So your career advice, though well intentioned and full of, I'm sure, for others, meet to pick the bones off. For this oath, recalcitrant with early apprehension, life is not what's salaried. I'm afraid it falls on deaf ears. I'm legendary in my own bedroom with the mufflers, furs, not high tensile kite marked industry cones, ones of my own design with kitten's ears on. And if I say so, who in the world can have an issue? I tell you, across the desk, in your loafers, and your incredibly helpful attitude to a youth of 16, that I know I appear to be vital here. Give me a job, I'll give a different impression. I'll learn you right. I'll stagnate in my overalls or pinny, my pinstripe suit, my Boilermaker's uniform. But the interior life, oh, the interior life will be so amazing they could write a book on. Oh, I could tell you the wonders I will sing. I could teach you a few things, Missy. Watch this space.